Record-breaking coronavirus cases continue to rise.
And a campus favorite coffee shop is closing its doors. Your HU16 News starts right now.
Live from the campus of Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas, this is HU16 News, live at 5.
Welcome to HU16 Live at 5. I'm Michaela Rodriguez.
And I'm Maxwell Ross. Let's get started. Arkansas sets a new record with nearly 2,000 new COVID cases in one single day. This puts the total number of cases in the state since March at just over 126,000, with 13,091 being active at this time. The number of hospitalizations slightly dropped to 801, but the number of deaths increased by 14 to a total of 1,126. Governor Ava Hutchinson is also issuing updated guidelines for churches. In yesterday's weekly COVID news conference, he said it's fine for churches to continue to meet in person, but COVID transmission is a concern.
It is possible to worship safely in person if the ADH guidelines for places of worship are followed. And so we're not saying don't go to church or don't go to the house of worship. You certainly can do that if the guidelines are followed. Masks need to be worn at all times by all congregants, and that is a new guideline that we're encouraging our places of worship to follow. Except those who are exempt under the guidelines, masks are the biggest factor that contribute to safe worship. Strict 6-foot physical distancing applies to everyone aside from family groups, both indoors and outdoors. Unmasked congregational singing is a primary driver of transmission in churches, even if people are 6 feet apart, because singing produces aerosols that can increase the risk of transmission for COVID-19. And so we respect the separation of church and state. They make their decisions on their own governance and how they handle things, but we do provide the guidelines that we ask them to take into consideration from a public health standpoint.
Meanwhile, COVID cases on campus are going back up. Today, there are 50 student positive cases and 8 faculty positive cases. There are currently 117 people in quarantine for close contact. Please remember to wear your mask and social distance so we can finish the semester strong.
Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson declines a state shutdown. Back on October 9th, the Arkansas Department of Health recommended a 28-day shutdown. This would have seen schools going online, restaurants closing indoor eating, and better enforcement of the mask mandate. Governor Hutchinson insisted that the increase in cases came from social gatherings that could not be controlled, and that the key to knowing when to shut down is the number of hospitalizations.
A fan favorite coffee shop is closing its doors, but for how long? HU16's Ellery Gardner found out more. Ellery.
Thank you, Michaela. Some unfortunate news was announced yesterday that disappointed many people of the Searcy and Harding community. Last night, around 9 p.m., Midnight Oil Coffee House announced on social media that they will be closing temporarily. According to the statement on Instagram, Midnight Oil claimed that they were temporarily closing the main location on Ray Street due to shortage of staff. The location in the Brackett Library will remain open for the time being. I spoke with a few students about their reactions to the closing.
I heard that Midnight Oil was closing for the time being. I was very sad, and I was just like, well, that's tragic, because it's just somewhere to hang out and just be around like a community of people, and without it there, it's just, like I said, tragic.
I was really surprised because I love to go there a lot and study just outside with friends, and the coffee is really great. So I'm just really hoping that it opens up next semester again.
Midnight Oil did want to remind customers that they are just closing temporarily, and they hope to open back up in a few weeks. I'm Ellery Gardner reporting for HU16. Over to you, Maxwell.
Thank you, Ellery. State officials have finally figured out what to do with more than $1 billion in federal COVID assistance. The 15-member CARES Act panel has approved using a slice of the money, $50 million, to offset unemployment insurance rate increases for Arkansas businesses. The panel also approved giving the Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism $10 million to cover reimbursements for events that were canceled, things like public conventions and concert venues. And more financial assistance is coming to the other financial struggling agencies and companies. Commerce Secretary Mike Preston said he believed this will help a number of businesses hit hardest by the pandemic, including manufacturers, hotels, and restaurants.
The White County Central School District is moving to virtual learning until November 19th. This decision comes from a significant spike in cases over the past few days. The district has 42 active cases between students, faculty, and staff, and another 149 in quarantine for close contact. Schools will be delivering meals each day to students in need during the closure.
A Faulkner County deputy is being investigated for shooting and killing a dog in Greenbrier. Through Facebook, a man named Chris Coiner posted a video of the dog named Clyde laying motionless on the ground as Coiner shouted towards the unidentified deputy. The sheriff's office says on Monday afternoon the deputy was attempting to locate a sex offender at the time, and Coiner claims the deputy shot Clyde for barking at the officer. The county sheriff has not confirmed the name of the deputy involved.
Henderson College has now been approved to merge into the Arkansas State University system. After almost a year of review, the Higher Learning Commission approved the merger. Yet before the merger is complete, Arkansas legislator must dissolve Henderson State's Board of Trustees and add to the ASU Systems Board from 5 seats to 7. Henderson State University Interim Chancellor Jim Borzig said he looks forward to the merger and is confident that the decision will help strengthen Henderson. Later on in the show, we hear from some of the important people keeping us safe here on campus. But first, we have your HU16 weather with Hunter Woodall. Hunter.
Thanks, Michaela. Fall temperatures are finally here, and coming up, we'll take a look at the second half of your week after the break.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to HU16. Right here in Searcy, it is 63 degrees. We have winds coming in from the northeast at 13 miles per hour, so definitely feeling those winds out today. And then humidity is at 35%, which is relatively low from what we've seen the past few days. Across Arkansas, we see the fall temperature is finally here. The peak for fall foliage is this weekend here in Arkansas, and we see about a 10-degree difference across the state, 61 in Fayetteville and Jonesboro, and then it warms up to 71 in Texarkana, 64 in Little Rock, and 65 in Monticello. Across the country, we see that system from earlier this week has finally made its way through Arkansas, cooling down. It's still hanging around the eastern part of the country, leaving some rain and thunderstorms there, and then dropping down to the Gulf. Hurricane Ada is still there. It's mainly focusing in on Tampa area in Florida and bringing some extreme rain there. Some high pressure and humidity is definitely present. And then tomorrow, that system from earlier this week finally makes its way out, still leaving along some rain along the coast. And then we see a new system has made its way through, definitely bringing some snow and mixed precipitation into the northwest part of the country and just the northern part of the country all around. And then we still see some rain across the eastern coast. Tonight, it will drop down to 38 degrees. It'll be clear, so if you plan on getting out, definitely remember to grab your jacket because it will be a colder evening than what we've seen the past few nights. And then it will warm up to 64 degrees tomorrow with sunny skies. A day really similar like today, a beautiful fall day outside. And throughout the next week, it will be 61 degrees on Friday. It'll drop down to 43, so should be perfect weather for some cool Friday night football games. We'll see a chance of rain on Saturday with that system moving through, but just 20%, so shouldn't affect game day, college game day too much. On Sunday, it does warm up a little bit to 68 degrees, but then on Monday, it cools back down to 62 degrees, so dropping temperatures through the rest of the next week. And that's a look at your 5-day forecast. Over to you, Maxwell.
Thank you, Hunter. This was a semester unlike any other, not only for students and teachers, but for faculty too. We talked with some of the student health services workers on how they've handled the pandemic. That story after the break.
Matthew.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
I can't button up a shirt. I can't run. I've had to learn to swallow again.
That's the only moments that I have. And I'm 33, so I never see this coming.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Had I done this, had I done that, hell, I messed up.
Get back on your plan, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed. Head to toe.
It has been a crazy semester unlike any other. So how are the student health services dealing with it? HU16's Caroline Sellers went out and found out. Caroline.
Thank you, Michaela. Harding University's 2020 fall semester is coming to a close while students and staff are successfully ending their fall here at Harding. I had the opportunity to speak with registered nurse and COVID protocols coordinator Rhonda Davis about how the health services prepared for this semester and what we can expect in the spring. She told me that this past summer consisted of a lot of learning and preparation with the Unity Health and Searcy, preparing to keep Harding safe and healthy this fall. Rhonda also told me that next semester will look very similar to this semester, as the protocols that have been put into place are effective in limiting the spread of the coronavirus. I also had the chance to speak with registered nurse, director of health services, Mary Darden, who told me with all the hard work that Rhonda Davis put into the semester, she played a large role in making the fall semester run as smoothly as it has. Remember to continue wearing your masks, washing your hands, and keep a 6-foot social distance. That's all I have. Reporting for AG16, I'm Caroline Sellers. Maxwell, over to you.
Thank you, Caroline. Arkansas families are struggling with not being able to visit their loved ones in nursing homes. Nursing homes have remained closed to visitors even after the governor eased guidelines about a month ago. For some, it has been 240 days since they have seen their family members. Some Arkansas residents have reached out to the governor's office to try to get safe visiting systems that have worked in other states.
A new public library would require floodproofing. The city is looking to purchase the Searcy Athletic Club as the site of the new library. However, engineers told the city council that floodproofing is needed. Adding floodproofing needs such as watertight steel doors would cost an estimated $175,000. More decisions about the future library will be made when the city council meets Thursday night.
Thanksgiving is coming up. We'll have tips for how to keep safe this holiday season when we come back.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything. All I did was dance. I was being scouted for a scholarship. I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor. If making my detox public is gonna help somebody, I'm all for it. Is there any medicine that I can have right now? I'm cold sweating really bad. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be tornado. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So. I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Don't tell me it's not worth trying for. I do it for you.
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texted me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, she just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Walmart is testing a new automated delivery service using self-driving cars. The grocery chain is partnering with California's Cruise, which is backed by General Motors and Honda. Cruise's first driverless cars will take to the streets of San Francisco by the end of 2020. But for now, the prototypes can be remotely controlled. Beginning with Scottsdale, Arizona in early 2021, the Walmart expects to use their self-driving cars for customers that order online.
With Thanksgiving coming up, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has updated its travel guidelines. The CDC warns against the travel during these upcoming weeks, even for the holidays. They suggest much smaller groups and to limit contact with others by not participating in large group activities. They add that since the holidays are some of the busiest times for travel, staying home is the best way to protect yourself and others.
A fall surge of COVID cases means you might want to scale back on your holiday plans and plan ahead for groceries. Stories expect to see more holiday traffic with more people buying for smaller groups. Many states are recommending online grocery shopping with delivery and curbside pickup available at most stores. They also recommend if you are not able to shop online, try to go at a time when stores are less busy, and remember to stay safe and wear a mask.
Thank you for joining us for HU16, where community matters.
Stay tuned for a replay of this morning's chapel. We'll see you tomorrow.